Welcome to episode 2 of the RCR Show. Episode 1, we talked about if the Cleveland Cavaliers are better than the 2015-16 Golden State Warriors. They proceeded to lose their next game, so maybe we are the cooler, and we shouldn't be talking about teams going for history ever again. So we're talking about top 10 NBA players today. We're going to come up with a consensus list. We all have our own opinions, so you might see some good debates in there. That'll be a lot of fun. We're opening it up with a long form where we're talking about the best players of all time. According to 2K, though, Cody will host that one. We'll get into the NBA conversation a little earlier this time in the show, get a guess the team, a guessing scale at the end of the show as well, and then we'll end it with, of course, some personal conversation. So stay for that if you want to know more about the brand or just anything going on in our lives that we want to talk about. West, did you watch the Cavs game last week post talking about them? Because that was brutal. I've never rooted for the Cavs so hard.
Yeah, I did not watch the game. Honestly, I was late to the start, and they were down 20 so fast. I'm not going to watch it. But I remember we were texting in our group chat, like, legacy Cavs game tonight. This is huge for the topic, for the show, and the Cavs go out and lay an absolute egg. It was bad, especially because, like, we didn't dedicate any time talking about the Thunder in the show.
No, but what's crazy is then I was like, well, maybe the Thunder will do good. They also lost the game, like, 2 days later. So it's like, I guess the Warriors were watching our video and we're just like, no, we're not allowing them to get the record, but we all said they weren't get the record, so we were right anyway at the end of the day.
Cody said 69 wins, so that he's in play there.
Yeah, well, we will see if that plays. I think the Thunder are the best team in the NBA, honestly, after that performance. But okay. Anyway, let's get to the trivia, boys. So today we have a long form. I just sent it to you guys on text in our group message. Can you name the greatest all-time players according to 2K25 for every single team? We have about 7 or 8 99 overalls.
Yeah, this is going to be tough because, like, 2K gets inflated half the time. Yeah. Like, 1 year LeBron's a 99, but now the best player is a 98. But it's weird. Let's just go. I'm assuming Michael Jordan and LeBron James were both 99s in their respective careers.
That is correct. And this is, 2K25. They have an all-time team for every single team, and it's just the best player.
Okay, so quick question. Is LeBron just the Cav, or is he also the Heat and the Laker?
He could be another team.
Yeah. Okay, and then I think Larry Bird as the Celtic is pretty valid. I think that's a pretty fair guess.
Yeah.
They gave Larry a 99 overall.
I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think he's the best Celtic of all time.
Wow, you heard it here.
You're taking Tatum.
I'm already like panicking though, because like, dude, is the 99 Harden or Hakeem? Is the 99 for the Lakers Kareem or Kobe? Like,
there could be multiple though.
I think the best
99 Warrior.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Could be Will, I guess.
It's Curry.
That is going to be strike.
It's Wilt.
That is Wilt. And by the way, you guys are getting 5 strikes today.
I love that. I like that a lot. I think the best Timberwolf of all time, unanimously, is Kevin Garnett.
That is correct, Kevin Garnett.
Dirk and KD.
Dirk, KD, Tim Duncan.
I love that. And Cody knows what teams we're talking about.
Those 3 are correct. Well done.
Okay, yeah. It feels like it's such an easy thing, and it's like we should get all these right. But this is harder than we think. But let's go third leading scorer all time, Karl Malone for the Jazz. He's above John Stockton. Karl
Malone.
Mailman.
The mailman is going to be correct for the Utah Jazz.
What are our thoughts on Charles Barkley in Phoenix?
Yeah, let's go Charles Barkley for the Suns.
Charles Barkley is going to be incorrect. Strike 2.
All right. I think LeBron is the Heat 99.
Yeah, he is.
He has to be.
That is LeBron James, just prime Bron, 2012, 2013.
And I think the Hawks is clearly Dominique Wilkins. Like, there's nobody from this
era. Bob Pettit, could be Lenny Wilkins. I mean,
there's no way it's Bob Pettit. I feel like 2K doesn't respect the old heads as much as we think.
It is Dominic Wilkins, and he is tied with Bob Pettit. 2K does respect the old heads.
Wow. Well, Dominique is still good, so we move on and we're fine.
Okay.
Hear me out. Are these 2 locks? I feel like they actually are these 3 locks. I'm going to go through 3 locks here. Isaiah Thomas for the Piston.
Love it.
Reggie Miller for the Pacer.
Love it.
Oscar Robertson for the King.
Oh, for the King. Love it.
Let's go with those 3.
Let's get some small markets.
Reggie Miller is going to be strike 3. The other 2 are correct.
Wow.
Are you telling me Paul George is the best pacer of all time? Get out of here. Because this ain't Tyrese Halliburton, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
That is insane. I went ahead and crossed out the pacer because I thought it was going to be
Is
easily
the
right.
Pelican Anthony Davis?
Yes.
It is Anthony Davis for the Pelican.
It's got to lean Hakeem. Hakeem won 2 chips in Houston. It's got to be him over Harden. No way Harden's better than Hakeem.
That is correct. Hakeem over James Harden. The modern TikTok boys don't like that one.
Tracy McGrady or Dwight Howard?
Or Shaq.
Or Shaq.
Okay. 3-time MVP Nikola Jokic is got to be the Nuggets. He is the best Nuggets player of all time.
I love it.
Jokic is the best Nuggets player of all time, according to 2K. Yes, sir.
Well, I'm going to go another route because you mentioned Kareem earlier. There's no way Giannis is a 99 and like Jokic isn't a 99 and some of these other guys aren't and Dirk isn't. Like it's got to be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the Bucks.
That is correct. It is Hakeem.
Okay. Kareem, but yeah.
Oh, Kareem.
Kareem, Hakeem, whatever. Same thing.
We haven't got our favorite team of all time.
The Blazers?
Who is it going to be?
It's Dame.
Okay.
Dame is number 3 of all time on the Blazers.
That's
Bill
insane.
too. There's
That's
Bill
insane.
too though.
It's gonna be strike 4. Yeah, that is bull, boys. That is bull.
Steve Nash sons.
That is Steve Nash.
Oh, thanks, Cody. Wes wasn't confident with that one. Clyde Blazer.
Yeah.
That is correct. So they go Clyde, then Bill, then Dame. Get out of here, 2K. That is terrible.
What's Dame's all time?
94.
Pacer Paul George.
Like that's gross.
Let's do
guys,
it.
It's going to be Paul
so
George.
bad.
That is so bad.
Reggie Miller led that team to a finals. Paul George just postered Braun once and then broke his leg.
Dang.
Dang.
No, Paul George is great, but like not the best, obviously, in my opinion.
Kareem
Abdul-Jabbar won 5 MVPs with the Lakers. 5 MVPs. If he's
Who?
not a 99, he won 5 MVPs.
Who?
It's got to be Kareem with the Lakers. It's got to be.
That's going to be strike number 5. You guys are out. Kareem is number 6. We got Elgin Baylor. Elgin Baylor above him. We got Jerry West above him. We have Shaq above him. And then 2 99s for the Lakers, Magic. And number 1, they put Kobe Bryant.
Dude, I mean, we should have just gone Kobe because like everyone loves him. And sure, he could be a 99. But Kareem won, I think, 5 MVPs with the Lakers. This is a hard list.
Yeah, this was a hard list. I'm going to go rapid fire for what
Okay.
we have. So we have Julius Erving, Walt Frazier, Moses Malone, Kawhi and Vince were tied. That was Glenn Rice for the Hornets.
Okay.
Yes, unfortunately. We have T-Mac,
Okay, fine.
and then Pistons, Elvin Hayes and Wes Unsub were
No,
tied.
Wizards.
Wizards. They were tied. Elvin Hayes and Wes Unsub.
That's ass.
Karl Malone, you got him. John Stockton was also the same as Karl Malone. Kawhi was the most. He had for the next one. He had, yeah. 2 teams. Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi is the highest of the Clippers, dude. That's crazy.
Makes sense.
That just shows how poor the Clippers have been. And we have Marc Gasol and CP3 to round it out.
All right, that was about as weird and hard of a long form that I can remember. But that was bound to be hard because when you're comparing eras, like Kareem is better all time probably than maybe Elgin Baylor, but like for some reason he was 6. Anyway, I mean that goes into what we're talking about right now though, because we're about to talk about who we think the top 10 players in the NBA are. I mean, I think there's a short list of players. I think there's a clear like probably 5 that are guaranteed in the top 10. But we're at a point where like there's some guys in the top 10 that you wouldn't think would have been in the top 10 at the beginning of the year, and then some guys that have dropped out. So I'm very curious to see where we land if we agree on things and things of that sort.
Yeah. Well, at the end of this, we have to, let's make it a rule for ourselves. We have to make a consensus list. There's going to be some debating. There's going to be some arguments. To hop on right into it, I think we all know who the top 2 are. I'm going to just say Giannis and Jokic. Fill me in, guys.
I would say that before we even do that, I'm going to send it to Wes. And I'm curious, what are our parameters right now? Is this like, who do we want if we were playing a 7-game series right now? Like, or who would we want if we could have them for the rest of the season? Like, what's the parameters?
That's really interesting because if you're talking about playoff series, like there are guys that are probably older that I would trust more than some of the younger superstars. So like I'll give some example as we get into it of like what that could look like. Okay, call it LeBron James versus Edwards, for example.
Yeah.
Maybe some people think Edwards is better. I want LeBron in a playoff series. So I would just say I don't want to say it's based on MVPs, but I think it's just like a combination of eye test, and how you think they'd perform in the playoffs. Their stats, stats obviously matter. Gravity, like it is subjective in the end. But Cody, I heard what you said. Giannis, Jokic, they are the 1-2 for me as well. I put Giannis as my number one player. But
Okay.
I have no problems with Jokic.
So real quick, we can have a little quick debate, but at the end of here, Cole's going to have to be the deciding one to break this. So the thing about Jokic for me is, yes, I understand what you're going to say. Giannis is just an athletic beast on the defensive end. However, Jokic can hit a wide open three. So that's my problem with Giannis and why I just can't put Giannis above, because he just doesn't shoot threes. Like,
dude, what's crazy about this year, like before this, I didn't realize it. I want you guys to guess Jokic's 3-point percentage and guess Giannis's 3-point percentage. You might have already looked, but I'm curious, just if you had to guess right now, what are the two percentages?
This season?
I would say
this season.
Giannis is 31 and Jokic is 47.
No, absolutely not. Giannis is way lower than that.
26 and 48.
Probably even worse. Yeah, it's that bad. That's why I'm...
Yeah. Jokic is having an absurd shooting year from 3, 47%. That's second in the league. Sabonis is first at 48, but he only takes 2 a game. Jokic at least takes 4. Giannis, points per game, 3-point percentage, 15.4%, which is crazy because he's actually hitting the mid-range this year. So he can shoot the ball, but he can't shoot the 3. Personally, I'll just go ahead and just say it. I would put Jokic first.
Okay.
But it can flip if Giannis has a crazy playoffs or something.
Interesting. So when I was doing my research, I looked at on cleaning the glass. There's kind of like 5 stats that I went to for an offensive overview that takes out shooting. I mean, shooting matters, but it's more just like overarching stats. So the first one is usage rate. The second one is points per shot attempt. So for example, Giannis is scoring 124 points per 100 shots, which is in the 71st percentile. Assist percentage, and then the assist usage, and then turnover percentage. So basically, like LaMelo Ball, number 1 in the NBA in usage rate, 38%. Giannis is 2. Jokic is like in the 96th percentile. Now, what I did was I added up all the percentiles, okay, and then just averaged it out. So, for example, Giannis, 100th percentile in usage, 71st in points per 100 shots, 98th in assist percentage, which is what percentage of his teammates' shots did the player assist on? He's at 33%. A third of all Bucks buckets outside of Giannis come from Giannis. Like, that's kind of insane. So he's up there in the 98th percentile. Jokic is in the 99th, though. And then assist to usage rate, Giannis 73, and then turnover percentage in the 63rd percentile. So I added all those up. There are 3 players in the NBA that average over the 80th percentile in all those. Giannis is number 2 at 81%, if you averaged it. Jokic is number 1 at 89%. It's ridiculous.
Whoa.
I mean,
guess who the third player is? And this is why this guy's in my top 5. I'll just go and say it.
Shea?
Okay.
No.
Wemby.
It's LeBron.
Whoa. Wow.
LeBron has elite, I'll just say it right now. LeBron, high usage rate. He's the number 1 player on his team. The percentage of Lakers buckets come from LeBron at the highest percentage of any player. Now, where LeBron struggles is he's below average in turnovers. I think he's just older and he just kind of doesn't care as much in the regular season. But Jokic is by far and away, so I have no problems. Defense is very hard to quantify. I think Giannis is a better defender, but Jokic, no problems with one. I would just rather have Giannis, and probably just because I like watching Giannis more. I like watching the more athletic player, I guess. So I'm taking Giannis. It's 1A, 1B though, either one.
I think if we're moving on to 3, I think as of now we're looking at Jokic 1, Giannis 2. In my opinion, there's a clear 3. It's the guy who's the MVP favorite right now.
I have Shea at my 4.
Do you have Luka at 3?
I have Luka at 3.
And that's totally fair, and I could be argued off. Cody's going to have to be the deciding factor. Can we agree at least Shea and Luka are 3 and 4? I think that's got to be it, because Shea's having an absurd year. I saw something he's having like a top 20 scoring season of all time when you take into efficiency, points per game, and all that stuff. So, Cody, talk to me.
All right, so you guys there's a border between you guys on Shea and Luka. So here's what I have. So Shea's averaging 31.5. Luka's averaging 28.5. Shea is shooting 53.2% from the field. And that is absolutely ridiculous. And I'll tell you why. Because at 6'4" guard, he does all this work in the mid-range / paint area when he's driving. You could argue he's one of the best just driving, body shifting movement guards of all time. And when you are shooting, not necessarily insane. He's a 35% three-point shooter. When you're shooting 53 from the field at 6'4", do you know how impressive that is? And you're averaging 31.5.
Yeah,
that is
that's
insanity.
why he's the MVP favorite.
Well,
and that is why I'm going to put him over Luka, because Luka has actually the same 3-point percentage as Shea, and Shea's just different.
Okay, I'll agree. Shea probably has the prettiest eye test in the game. Like, you watch him play, you're like, this guy can do whatever he wants on offense. I think, like, the gap between the playmaking is way bigger than the scoring gap for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think Luka, now, like, his usage rate is lower. So, like, I'm not going to be like, oh, Shea scores more because he gets the ball more. But, like, Luka's got to share with Kyrie here. So, counting stats-wise, he'll suffer.
True.
I think Shea, better defender than Luka, at least, like, on the perimeter. I think Luka's defense is a little overhated. I think it's been better. But I think Luka, it's the playmaking. Like, Shea was, like, 8th percentile in, like, assist usage. It was really bad. Not that I'm a counting stats guy, but I just think also another thing, like, when you ask what are we basing this list on, is it right now, or is it kind of like what's your window that you're looking at? Like, I'm not going to look at 30 games. Like, Shea's having a great year, but, like, Luka had a better year last year. And, like, Luka just went to a finals.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
it's true.
And if we talk about this in 3 months, like, Shea might be hoisting an NBA championship and things change. But, like, I personally would take Luka over Shea. I think it's neck and neck, though. But I don't want to be prisoner of the moment with Shea's MVP season. Like, he's elite, but, like, Luka's playmaking clears Shea by, like, so
I know,
much.
Cole, you were initially on the Shea side. I'll just get one more quick point, and you can stay with Shea or switch to Luka here. Yes, Luka, you know, he's bigger. He gets more. He's 8.3 assists, 7.8 boards compared to Shea, 6.1 assists and 5.3 boards. I can't put Luka over Shea, also because of the defense. That's the last thing I was going to say.
Fair.
He is a cone straight up. He may be overhated.
He's not a cone.
But I can't put him third in the league with his effort on defense.
But you can put Jokic second or first.
Well, Jokic, I think Jokic is a better defender than Luka. Like,
well, I'm just saying, like, when you're 7 feet and you stand under the rim, you're going to have better stats because you don't have to go out and guard.
No, yeah, it's a lot of eye test too, and it comes down to, like, Shea, and you can talk about team around him. I just think if I could pick right now, like, for the rest of the season, and, like, if I could have a guy on my team right now, I'd take Shea. And another reason for that, like, it's really hard to quantify this, but, like, Shea does stay healthy more. Yeah, like, Luka's hurt, so that's a big deal. But, like, then again, just as, like, when we were crowning Anthony Edwards in the playoffs last year, and he's no longer classified as a top 5 player, like, this list could change in 2 months because Luka's just beat Shea in a playoff series.
So do you want Shea or Luka in a playoff series? In a conference finals?
That's tough, just because if I'm...
That brings him to the past because of experience and things.
Yeah, so that's why, because I've seen Luka just dog people in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think for now, if I was doing, like, if this was like a power ranking, I would take Shea.
Okay, so it sounds like our top 4 is similar. It's just little nuances, but, like, Giannis or Jokic, Giannis, SJ, Luka, like,
and it's those 4. I think those 4 at this point are clearly the top 4 in the league.
Luka slots in right after Shea, in my opinion, and I think we can move on from those 4.
All right,
can I get a glimpse of, like, give me some players that are in the running for, in your opinion, the 5th spot? Because we can probably go rapid fire a little bit more here now.
My running I have 3 guys in the 5th: Tatum, Curry, LeBron.
I've got Tatum in there, and then I kind of got Curry and LeBron in the same camp as, like, you could argue maybe KD with them, and then Wemby low-key.
I did a 12, and I have Wemby at 12. I just think he's so the defense is insane. Just quick Wemby thing, because I'm not putting him in the top 10 yet.
Wow,
he's just he's way too inefficient for me, dog. Like, some of these advanced stats, like, he's kind of in his, when he refines his, like, shot chart and kind of plays, or maybe this is just how he plays. Like he's a guy who just pulls from 33 feet with 20 on the clock. I mean, if he does, that's fine. But he's too young for me, which is such a cop out.
We can talk about.
I'm not. I think for me personally, like we're jumping around too much probably, but like inefficient. Like Wemby has better shooting splits than like a Jason Tatum, like from the field, and then he's 0.2 behind him in 3. So like I wouldn't necessarily say inefficient, but I'm not putting him where we're talking right now.
Yeah, that's fine. But I think I'm not putting him in the top 10. I think I would rather have all the guys above him in the playoffs or on my team right now. Wemby is bona fide top 10 soon.
We can get to the top 10 soon, but first, boys, we have to slot a 5. And I'm putting LeBron and Steph over Tatum.
Okay, I had LeBron, Tatum, Steph.
LeBron, Tatum, Steph.
That's not a bad year.
It's a bad Steph year.
Man, Tatum's having a good year. LeBron's having a good year.
Dude,
so
LeBron,
hard. Like, it's so hard to put LeBron this high.
I mean, here's why I think LeBron should be this high. He's shooting 51.3% from the field. Ridiculous. He's shooting 39.8% from 3. He makes 2 threes in a row. He's a 50-40 player. And he's freaking LeBron James. And his stats are going to be tanked when he's playing with Anthony Davis. That's just the reality. But just his IQ, when you eye test, 10 out of 10. Maybe I'm glazing. He makes the right play every single damn time. It is ridiculous.
LeBron,
like you said, West, on those stats. He was number 3 on those 3 stats that you averaged, which is crazy at 40 years old.
Sure, I don't even need to be talked into it. I'm fine with LeBron there. My biggest thing is like his defense is dog water. But now that could just be an effort thing. But then again, the Lakers aren't a good team, so like they kind of need his effort. So, but I'm not going to argue because if I'm looking at a team this year, like I can't definitively say like I would rather have Tatum over him, but I would put Tatum over Curry. Though.
So I have a really interesting question. This is a hypothetical that's kind of unfair. If you swapped LeBron and Tatum, are the Celtics better?
I mean, no.
I think the Lakers. I think both teams are. I high key think both teams are better.
I think both teams are better
because I think LeBron plays so well when he's got good shooters around him, and then I think Tatum is a better like. If to lead a team right now, I think Tatum would be better.
Tatum would have more effort.
But like they both would get better.
Well, that's why I have them. Again, could go either way. I'm going LeBron because in the prism of the playoffs, I know Tatum just won a championship, but like, I mean, I was LeBron or that Laker Denver series, dude. Like LeBron was balling his ass off. I feel like we're gonna get hate for LeBron top 5, but the numbers don't lie. And the Lakers like aren't a bad team this year. Yes, the defense is what it is, but I have LeBron, then I have Tatum, then I have Curry at 7.
I take Tatum over Curry because
I would too.
Curry because of his down year.
Hearing you guys talk, I think I'll follow you guys up on that. I initially had Steph over Tatum, but yeah, Steph only 22.9. That is, ridiculously low. Despite, not having much, like you kind of look at it, you play on a bad team. Are you expected to get a lot of points or not a lot of points because you're a bad team? But like he has no stars that can score around him, so I would expect more than 22.9. Is he double teamed off ball? Yes, he is. Are his shooting splits good? They are. 44.8, 40.9 from 3. Only 4.9 assists though, which was kind of.
So is he just not shooting as much?
Yeah, honestly,
weird. A little bit.
It's kind of weird that his scoring is down. I think it comes from like he's still shooting the ball relatively well from 3.
Not getting the line?
44 is not great. Yeah, he's not getting to the line. He only takes 3 free throw attempts a game.
That's how you go from 23 to 28 a game,
which is really low. I'm cool with going Curry 7. Guys that I think are in the running for. I think KD has to be in the top 10.
Okay, wait. So we're going
KD at 9.
We're going LeBron, Tatum, Steph right now. That's our list. Okay.
And then here's where I'm at. I think KD absolutely needs to be in the top 10. He can be anywhere in the next 3. Personally, I think Wembanyama should be in the top 10. And then you're looking at like probably Ant Edwards, Brunson, D. Mitch, AD.
Wow. Okay, so I have AD at
by
8.
the way, I think D. Mitch you could argue Garland's having a better year than D. Mitch. So like D. Mitch doesn't even be there.
D. Mitch, Brunson, Booker, like all these, like, Trae Young, all these. Yeah.
Before we get farther, Embiid is nowhere near my list.
All right, I had Embiid at 10, but
I'm not. I cannot put Embiid on this list.
Okay, so
I have Embiid out of my list as
Does
well.
Embiid-
Not by much though. It's just up here, man. It's just up here. He's got everything down here. It's just up here. When you're
okay,
You got
trying-
everything down there.
okay.
He's got the skill set. He's got the moves. He just doesn't have the mentality and effort. I mean,
I still think he's
you
like
cannot be a top 10 player and have his mentality. You just
Did
can't.
you
I
see-
can't because he doesn't play games. Like you got to base it on this year at
Luke
least
is
a little
out
bit.
right now.
Well, at least Lucas played some games this year, and at least
Did we not? What did Embiid do to Portland when we went? He had
Oh,
39.
he cooked us. That was insane.
He had like
but-
39.
But the fact that he does that only once a month when he feels like it, you just can't put anyone in the top
he's
10
played
like
13 games, dude. I can't put him in here.
Okay, so
Even in those games, he's scoring 24, 45 from. He's down 7% from last year. From like,
but last year he was like. So you think that drops him 8 spots?
playing 13 games, yeah, Embiid is not in my top 10. And like, I hesitate to put him in my top 15.
Wow. I would put him easily top 15, maybe 11. I was even thinking 10, but just thinking about him, I just couldn't.
I mean,
it's
he's
interesting.
yeah, he's still, going
No,
back.
like
to
he
my-
is a great player. If he like played every game, didn't complain on the media, actually played through the BS, he could be top 5,
I just want to be careful because like, if health is that like, I don't know.
It's not even health. It's like comparing to his peers, his big peers. He's shooting 45% from the field this year.
What's Wembanyama shooting?
Wembanyama is better, 47.
All right.
Cat is 54. AD is 52. Jokic is 56. Other bigs like Jaren Jackson Jr. is above him at 49. I'm just looking at the top scores. Like, when you're not healthy ever, when your team also sucks with or without you on the floor, and then like Embiid is not in the top 10.
One more playoff experience as well.
He has it.
Terrible performance.
I can't.
I have
he's out. Okay.
Davis at 8, Durant at 9, and I had Embiid at 10, and then Edwards was 11, and Wemby was 12.
I'm fine with putting Durant next.
Yeah, I mean,
Durant.
I'm cool with KD, and if the final 3 include the 3 players of KD, AD, and Anthony Edwards, I'd be fine with that. Personally, I feel like Wemby's a top 10 player, but I'd be fine with not putting him in there. But
I think he needs a little more seasoning to be top 10.
and that's absolutely fair. And he's never played in the playoffs. He's on a team that like could make the play-in, but like odds are probably against them for that. I think we could come to the agreement. The 3 players we're working with here at the end is KD, AD, and Ant.
That's fine. I want to hear people's thoughts on Embiid because I'll entertain arguments that don't have to do with health because Davis misses time all the time. I know he's been healthy very recently, but he misses time all the time.
Well, I gave you my case with health. Like, he's had a bad year. And also, like, Embiid's on another level. Like, he's played less than 55 games in the last 2 seasons combined. Like, at this point, like, I don't know if he's ever going to play a season more than 40 games.
That is a take. That's a take. I don't know.
This dude is such a...
I mean, I think Philly at this point is... I don't know. How far back are they? Because he could be shut down.
They could probably still make the plan. Right now, Philly is 3 games back of the plan. They're 15-27 though. Portland's got the same record.
It's terrible. I don't know. I think when Embiid's on the floor, he's a top 10 player. I think he's clearly a top 10 player when he's on the floor. So if we want to say like health knocks him out, that's fine. But like I would rather have. Well, I don't know. Edwards and Embiid's a good argument. Edwards and Embiid, Wemby's a great argument. I think Durant and Davis.
So are we locking Durant in for?
I think
Durant's top 10.
I think we could go Durant, AD, Ant. We could end it with those 3. Like
I would. Okay, you guys. So Cole, you were in with Wemby in the top 10. West, you're out. I'm actually in with Wemby going into the top 10 if we want to replace him with Ant. Ant has not had as good of a season as last year. Wemby. Here's the thing about Wemby. 24.4 points, 10.8 rebounds,
He's the best defender.
That's
3.7.
That's it? Only 10? You're 7'5".
Watch. Hey, I'm not done. 4
blocks. Yeah.
4 blocks. You know who's number 2? Walker Kessler at 2.4. He has a 4.
Okay.
4 blocks.
Keep going.
You cannot defend the paint if he's in the paint. Like, what are you going to pass? 2-on-1, fast break? It ain't happening.
How many turnovers? How many turnovers do you have a game?
Didn't write that down. I think
3.4.
That's
not even.
He would be
average to me.
He's behind Giannis, LeBron. He's 8th in the league in turnovers. He
doesn't have the ball.
Actually, the same as Ant.
Wemby doesn't ever have the Yeah, he's behind Giannis. Giannis gets the ball every other possession.
I'm not gonna sit here and dude, I'd put Wemby in the top 10 over.
He shoots 47.3, and he's not a center that just goes. No, he's a shooter. He pulls up from 30 feet.
Really?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Really.
Okay.
And what do you mean 10.8 is not a lot? It's 8th in the league. And when you play on the perimeter, I mean, I feel like that's.
Well, it's not my fault he plays on the perimeter. No, I get it. I just think it's a little premature for me.
I mean, if Wemby was going against Embiid in a playoff series, I'd want Wemby more than Embiid.
I mean, yeah.
I think Wemby, if they played one-on-one, would, or not one-on-one because that's not basketball.
You want an interesting stat?
Yeah, I do.
All right, Wembanyama. So his turnover percentage is a shade under 16, and that is how often did the player turn the ball over when using a possession? 16% of possessions that he uses, he turns it over. Scoot's at 17, so maybe Scoot's really good now. So Scoot and Wemby, just saying.
All right, here's our top 10.
I bet on his fantasy score. Man had like 9 turnovers in one game. It's killing
Here's
me,
our
man.
top 10.
You're 7'5". Keep the ball high.
Jokic is number 1. Giannis is 2. Those two are clearly in their own tier. The next tier of players clearly.
That's a sus statement there to say they're clearly in their own tier.
Okay, well, in our opinion, that's a little tier there. Then we've got Shea, Luka, 3-4. Could be Luka, Shea, but we ultimately ended on Shea, Luka. 5, we had LeBron with Tatum right on his tail. Curry a little behind Tatum at 7. Tatum 6, Curry 7, Bron 5. 8, we had KD. 9, we had AD. 10, we had Anthony Edwards, but Wemby might be in there.
Anthony Edwards feels a little high for him too.
It does, and I think Wemby's in there. But I'm curious. I'm very curious to see what the comments think about the Embiid debate because.
What about Sabonis?
Nah, he wasn't in my short list.
Leads the league in rebounds. Triple doubles it all the time.
Is Wemby in? Is he getting replaced by anyone? He's not in.
Maybe he'll be in by episode 3.
Maybe we come back to this and change it up. We'll have Anthony Edwards in there, but maybe when I'm editing, it says dash Wemby right now.
Yeah, okay. I like that.
And maybe we do episode 10 in 8 weeks, and Joel Embiid gets back in here because he's finally playing some games. But that's our top 10 list. That took a lot of debate, a lot of discussing about. I'm really curious to drop your top 10 list in the comments below and stay for the rest of the video. We still got a couple more trivia videos to go.
Guess the NBA team based off each player's highest scoring game of their whole career.
Okay.
I hope the second one's harder than the first one.
Well, not many dudes have scored 70 plus. You know what's really interesting though? I want to know when you made this graphic, Cody, because I swear Gafford had like 27 last night.
Or it could be Lively, but Lively's hurt though. But yeah, Gafford had an insane game last night if it is him. But this is obviously Luka, point guard. Kyrie and Clay both have 60s in their career.
Yep.
PJ Washington scored 43.
Yeah,
was that in the playoffs or was that with the Mavericks? I don't even know.
I think it was, honestly.
And then that could be Gafford. That could be Lively. Both I would be fine with. But yeah, the graphics out of date if it's Gafford.
That is going to be Derek Lively. I mean, I didn't say they had to start. I could choose anyone on the team. Technically, Luka's not playing right now. He's been out. It's probably like Spencer Dinwiddie right now. But
73.
Second team is on the screen. This could be anyone on the team.
Ooh, I got a shout. CJ scored 50 in his career. Did he score more than 50 in that one this year?
60, no.
He didn't have 60. I think he scored 50 because Zion at 45 feels interesting. I think Missy's had a 30-point game. I think he has. All right. Which is insane. This wouldn't work though, because like DeJounte Murray, BI.
Hey, they don't have to start. They don't have to start.
It's gross. We're getting flamed. Pelicans. It's not them.
You're right. It is
Wow.
not them.
Oh,
Oh,
It is not them.
see ya.
See ya.
brother. Like, is this Jordan Poole, Kuzma, Valanciunas, Bilal Koulibaly,
Sure. The
Wizards?
It is not the Wizards. Guys, we were talking about it earlier today. Who was the point guard that had a 50-point game?
Stop it.
LaMelo?
Oh.
LaMelo Ball.
So this is
Oh,
LaMelo,
Hornets.
Bridges, maybe Brandon Miller, but he could be hurt, so maybe not. Mark Williams. Mark Williams, literally tonight, as we are recording, Mark Williams has 38.
What a game for Mark Williams. Well, we are not updating that because I made this today before the game, and that is fair. Nick Smith Jr., rookie, shooting guard, 24, Josh Green. So good job on the first one. Second one, not so much.
It is what it is. Okay, now we're going to do some guessing scale. Cole, I have a player in mind. You say the player. I give you a number. If it's 100, you win. So
Yeah, this one's always fun. Let's start with Victor Wembanyama since we had a nice debate with him in the show.
Victor Wembanyama is going to be a 37.
So maybe not a center, maybe not a young guy. Let's go to an older player that is a point guard. Let's go Damian Lillard.
Damian Lillard. Ooh. 84.
Could it be the Adidas thing? Because that was a little weird. Or could it just be a guy that's played for the Bucks or Blazers? This is active, right?
Yes, this guy is active.
Let's go with Norman Powell.
Norman Powell is going to be like a 21.
Okay. Maybe we're looking at division. Zach LaVine.
Zach LaVine is 37.
Gee, so Dame's an 84. Okay.
And
same
weird.
draft class. Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal. Also in a weird way, in the same way, kind of. Bradley Beal, we'll say a little less. 74.
Russell Westbrook.
Russ, nah. Just nah.
Just nah. Paolo Banchero.
Paolo Banchero is a 86.
So it's Dame because of the Dame package and because Bradley Beal could have been traded to the Heat. So we'll just go Jimmy Butler.
It's Jimmy Butler. It is Jimmy Butler.
And now because Bradley Beal could get traded for Jimmy. Yeah. Gosh,
Dame
man.
with the
Jimmy has
package.
nobody on his team. That's pretty much going to wrap it up for episode 2. We did our trivias. We did our talk. You know, we always like to end with just a little yap session, some personal talk. Obviously, this was a big recent week. I don't know if we want to talk about the TikTok route again. But I guess we could open up like, TikTok's still here. That's big for the brand. It's not going to stop the show, though, because episode 2 came out.
Yeah.
That is true. Where were you when TikTok got banned? West.
I was in Arizona on a golf trip, and I opened TikTok at about 10:15 local time, and it said whatever it said, like it's just not available. We're working to restore our services. Then proceeded like 20 times the next 2 hours, tried to open the app just from habit, and it said it every time. But what did you say, Cole? I don't know if you said it on just to me personally or on episode 1. Might have to go back and look. But you were like, it's like when a star player is holding out. In the end, they're always going to be on the field, and TikTok is back. But CapCut, what's going on with CapCut?
Dude. Let's get into the CapCut. I didn't realize CapCut was going to be a part of this. Cody, do you want to air out kind of what happened with TikTok, or with CapCut with you? Because that was detrimental there for a couple days.
I use CapCut every single day for over an hour a day, probably. I am just on this thing, getting these videos done.
Getting this phone to a steaming hot temp.
Oh, this iPhone 16 Pro Max gets hot. And I'm not one of these people who want an iPhone 16 Pro Max because I want an iPhone 16 Pro Max because I'm spoiled. I need this thing because this thing works like an animal 8 hours a day getting these videos up. So anyway, when CapCut got banned, I actually deleted the app. And I know, so pretty much it's not in the App Store though. So how would that correlate? Something getting banned, coming back, but being back and not being in the App Store? Anyway, I went through a whole day of grinding just to figure out how to get this app back. I went through backup local files, VPNs. Anyway, it was a grueling day, but I eventually got it back, and I'm happy because all these other editing softwares, booty boys.
Well, where does your phone think you live?
I think he found himself in Mexico City.
Yeah, I mean, the VPN was in Mexico City. Just had to find a street. You know, it is what it is. That's all legal, right?
I still don't even
VPNs
understand
are
how you
illegal.
do that with the App Store.
So you just did that to download the app, and now you took it off. Now that you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's using your resources quite well. I saw phones online. Like people were selling phones. They were like a phone with TikTok on it was going for like thousands of dollars.
I saw that too. I wonder if that's actually true or if that's like.
But don't
I saw it's for sale. I just wonder if anyone's actually going to buy it.
I doubt it because don't you need like an iCloud and a SIM like for all that stuff to work? I don't know. Anyway, it's been an eventful little bit, but hopefully, I mean, I kept CapCut on my phone because I'm not.
Because you have a brain.
Yeah, but
yeah. Well, we almost had to go down the what was the app?
Video Leap.
Video Leap. Like, holy, what is that?
Which do you think was more of a stinker, Video Leap or Eliminate?
Dude, okay, let's go through the Eliminate thing here because like, what was Mickey thinking, man? He said Lemonade's gonna be the future, and right when I downloaded that app, I was like, "There's no way Lemonade is the future because it's
trash,
owned by TikTok." So it's obviously going to get deleted too. Like, what are we doing here? What research was he doing?
I don't know,
but TikTok isn't technically out of safety yet. I mean, we could say it is, but the ban technically just got extended. It's still
it got franchise tagged, and in 90 days, it's going to get another franchise tag. This thing ain't going away.
Well, I think what's going to happen is, I think with the change of leadership in the country, I think a deal is going to be made with like.
Oh, we can talk. How about Elon, man?
That was ridiculous.
We do not need to talk about that here.
We're not going to talk about that. If you know,
Dude,
you know.
I'm not going to lie. Like, who cares what anyone believes? Dude's a weird guy.
Oh no, he has like things.
Dude's so odd. Like he's like, so socially awkward.
I think he's on the spectrum. Like actually, I think he's on the spectrum.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
I don't know what it's called, but yeah, he's a weird dude. That was crazy. But hopefully TikTok gets like, I saw something about selling half of it to a US buyer and like the US share revenue with it. I think that's what Trump wanted or something. He always looks at things through a business thing. That's the extent of politics we're going to talk about though.
Let's get back to basketball. You want to go to the Blazer game on Friday, Cody?
Oh, let's go.
Got good ticks. Good ticks.
That'll be fun. I think my brother and our brother Cole and I are going to go to do some scouting for the Blazers. Go see Cooper in person, maybe when Duke goes to Clemson.
That's pretty fun.
In a couple weeks on a Saturday. Duke Cooper's going to go to Little John. Chef's going to lock him up.
Cooper's so good, dude.
Yeah, he's really good. I think he's better than Wemby right now. I'm just kidding. Anyway, yeah, so that's our backstory on all the ByteDance products because apparently China is spying on us, but
I don't know if I said this online, but like I love obviously I don't want people to have my data or know who I am. Of course I don't, but like
of course not.
Of course I type people in my life that I talk to all the time and I'm like, we're talking about Charleston, South Carolina. Oh my gosh, did you see it snowed in Charleston, South Carolina? 30 minutes later, first thing that pops up on TikTok, Charleston, South Carolina snow. It's like, I mean, it's listening to me, but do I care? No.
It's called location services. But also, there are so many apps that take your data, like Meta.
Yeah. It's not deep.
No, it ain't deep at all to me. Anything else, or are we ready to start preparing for episode 3?
I think we're ready to start preparing for episode 3.
Preparing for episode 3.
Last thing. For the one person watching this that likes basketball and golf, what do you think of TGL? I'm just curious. Because you
it's not something I go out of my way to watch, but if I'm chilling on a Tuesday night, I'll watch it, and it's interesting. It's fun to watch. It's like a YouTube video.
Yeah, it honestly is. I was watching some of the highlights. Are the greens turf?
The green is turf, and you take shots onto the.
No, I know. Yeah, I know how it works.
That's
like
not turf. Like the.
Yeah. No, it's grass. They have a grass square, a rough square, and a sand.
And the green like can change and turn and spin and all that. It's cool.
Yeah. Well, I went on my golf trip, and I had the 2-8 miss going off the tee. It was
fiending for some golf, but it's freezing here. I just got snow where I live. Find out where I live. Comment where I live below.
We know where you live.
But that's it for RCR Show episode 2. And give us some long form trivia ideas you want to see for us episode 3, topics you want us to talk about. And again, I want to see those top 10 lists. I want to know what you guys think about the Embiid debate because that was a hot topic today. But we will see you guys next week. We appreciate you guys watching. Peace out.